Hello again and welcome back to the channel. In 2025, President Donald Trump made headlines with a series of controversial and unexpected statements that stirred national and international debates. In this video, we delve into 15 of the most provocative statements made by Trump this year, examining their implications and the responses they've elicited. On April 9, 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order rescinding federal limits on showerhead flow rates, citing his personal frustration with low water pressure that forced me to shower for 15 minutes, which he called ridiculous for his hair care routine. These flow rate restrictions had been established under Presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden, capping shower head output at 2.5 gallons per minute, even on multi-nozzle heads. Trump previously tried to loosen these rules during his first term. They were later reinstated by the Biden administration. The White House fact sheet described the order as meant to end the war on water pressure and make America's showers great again, arguing that the old regulations hampered individual freedom and stifled the economy. The decision drew criticism from environmental protection groups, which warned that rolling back these efficiency standards could increase both water and energy consumption at a time when conservation is crucial. On April 17, 2025, former President Donald Trump publicly criticized Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, accusing him of playing politics and expressing dissatisfaction with Powell's handling of interest rates. Trump suggested he had the authority to remove Powell, stating, "If I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me." Trump's frustration stems from Powell's cautious approach to interest rate adjustments, particularly in response to the economic uncertainties introduced by Trump's own tariff policies. Powell has warned that these tariffs could lead to increased inflation and economic slowdown. Despite Trump's assertions, legal experts and Powell himself have emphasized that the president does not have the authority to dismiss the Federal Reserve Chair without cause. Powell has stated he intends to serve his full term, which extends through May 2026. The situation has raised concerns about the independence of the Federal Reserve. Chicago Federal Reserve President Austin Goolsbee expressed hope that the U.S. is not moving toward a scenario where monetary policy independence is questioned. On Easter Sunday, April 20, 2025, former President Donald Trump issued two contrasting messages. Initially, he shared a traditional holiday greeting. "Melania and I wish everyone a very happy Easter." Shortly thereafter, he released a more pointed statement targeting political opponents. "Happy Easter to all, including the radical left crazies who rigged our presidential election and want to destroy our country." In another message, he criticized New York Attorney General Letitia James, labeling her a failed gubernatorial candidate and racist, and accused her of driving businesses out of New York while allowing crime to flourish. These messages reflect Trump's ongoing pattern of using holiday greetings to convey political grievances. While such statements resonate with his supporters, they have drawn criticism for politicizing traditionally nonpartisan occasions. On April 14, 2025, during an Oval Office meeting with Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele, former President Donald Trump expressed interest in transferring U.S. prisoners, including American citizens, to El Salvador's prison system. He reportedly stated, "The locals are next. You need to build about 5 more facilities," referencing plans to deport violent American citizens to Salvadoran prisons. Trump stated explicitly, "If it's a homegrown criminal, I have no problem with that." This remark indicated Trump's openness to sending U.S.-born citizens, those who are legally protected under the U.S. Constitution, to foreign high-security prisons. The statement triggered an immediate wave of legal, political, and ethical backlash. While Trump expressed support for the idea, saying, "If we had the legal right to do it, I would do it in a heartbeat," legal experts have pointed out significant constitutional barriers. The U.S. Constitution prohibits the deportation of its citizens, and any attempt to do so would face substantial legal challenges. While there have been discussions and proposals regarding transferring U.S. prisoners to El Salvador, including American citizens, such actions would confront serious legal and constitutional obstacles. In mid-April 2025, the Trump administration froze $2.3 billion in federal funding to Harvard University after the institution refused to comply with a series of federal demands. These demands included eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs, implementing ideological audits of faculty and students, enforcing merit-based admissions without racial preferences, and cooperating with immigration authorities concerning international students. The administration cited Harvard's alleged failure to address anti-Semitism on campus, particularly in light of recent pro-Palestinian protests, as the rationale for the funding freeze. Harvard President Alan Garber publicly rejected these demands, asserting that the university would not compromise its autonomy or constitutional rights under governmental pressure. He emphasized that addressing issues like anti-Semitism should not involve federal overreach into academic affairs. The funding freeze has significant implications for Harvard's research initiatives, potentially jeopardizing projects in fields such as biomedical science and public health. Researchers have expressed concerns about the interruption of critical studies and the potential loss of international talent. Simultaneously, the Trump administration announced plans to propose rescinding approximately $1.1 billion in federal funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which supports National Public Radio and the Public Broadcasting Service. The administration's proposal reflects ongoing criticisms of perceived liberal bias in public media and aims to reduce federal expenditures in this sector. In February 2025, the Trump administration began restricting access for the Associated Press and other major wire services, including Reuters and Bloomberg, from White House press events. This action was reportedly in response to AP's refusal to adopt the administration's directive to refer to the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. The AP maintained its editorial independence, leading to its exclusion from certain events. The AP filed a lawsuit against the administration, arguing that the exclusion violated the First Amendment. On April 8, 2025, U.S. District Judge Trevor McFadden ruled in favor of the AP, ordering the White House to restore the agency's access to press events. However, despite the court order, instances of restricted access persisted. For example, on April 13th, an AP reporter and photographer were barred from an Oval Office event with El Salvador's president. In response to the court ruling, the White House revised its press pool policy. Previously, wire services like AP, Reuters, and Bloomberg held permanent spots in the press pool. Under the new guidelines, these agencies are now part of a larger group of print media outlets eligible to participate, with 2 print reporters covering events instead of 1. Critics argue that this change diminishes the presence of wire services in the press pool, potentially reducing the dissemination of real-time news to the public. The AP has accused the Trump administration of malicious compliance with the court order, asserting that the new policy continues to limit its access under the guise of procedural changes. The legal battle over press access and First Amendment rights is ongoing, with the AP seeking further judicial intervention to ensure full reinstatement of its access to White House events. On February 25, 2025, former President Donald Trump shared an AI-generated video on his Truth Social platform that depicted the Gaza Strip transformed into a luxurious resort named Trump Gaza. The video showcased scenes of opulence, including golden skyscrapers, palm-lined beaches, and a towering golden statue of Trump himself. It also featured Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sunbathing, children emerging from rubble into upscale settings, and a figure resembling Elon Musk being showered with cash. The video was originally created by Israeli-American filmmakers Solo Avital and Ariel Vroman as a piece of political satire. They intended it to be a darkly comedic take on Trump's ambitions and to test the capabilities of generative AI. However, Trump shared the video without context or credit to the creators, leading to widespread criticism and concerns about the misuse of AI-generated content in politics. The video drew condemnation from various groups, including Arab and Muslim communities in the U.S. and abroad, as well as from some of Trump's own supporters. Critics viewed the video as insensitive and accused it of promoting propaganda that trivializes the suffering of Palestinians in Gaza. The incident has sparked a broader discussion about the ethical implications of using AI-generated media in political discourse. This episode underscores the growing concerns about the potential for AI-generated content to be used in misleading or manipulative ways, particularly in the political arena. It highlights the need for greater awareness and regulation of AI technologies to prevent their misuse and to ensure that such content is appropriately contextualized and credited. Thank you for watching. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss part 2. Stay tuned.